Seem like I have sound. Oh, here we go. That's why it didn't have sound because the thing. Okay, there we go. It seems like every time I do this, I have to refigure everything out. But welcome to my live Q&A. It's been a while since I've done this. That's why I'm a bit rusty. I haven't even used this computer here in this office with this program or whatever. Okay, now that I know that we have sound, let me turn this off. Yes. How is everyone doing? Let me click on the thing here to pop out the chat. A couple of things. I want to talk at the very beginning of this so that I can save it and then let it be a video on its own. There is, traditionally, there has been a lot of problems getting lithium batteries for everyone outside the US. I know that somehow we are lucky and we have tons of sources of batteries, right? But every time that I post sources, people are like, hey, what about us in Europe? Hey, what about us in everywhere else in the world, right? And until now, yes, I'm sorry, I just, I don't know. There's no sources. But there is, right now, there's a couple of them. So one is those ones that I'm selling on my website that are scooter. I'm not to say they're scooter, but they're the MH1s. These are very good sales. They're selling for $1.20 or I don't remember, something like that. $1, just over $1. I'm not supposed to say there's a ton of them here, but there's a lot of them. There's some available in Mexico. Si ustedes están en México y necesitan baterías de litio, tengo un enlace abajo donde pueden oprimirlo y me pueden mandar su información para cuando estén disponibles podemos hacerlas disponibles. I just said, by the way, those of you who don't speak Spanish, for those in Mexico, there is a lot of those down there, and we're trying to figure out how to do this, right? We don't want to import them to the U.S. We want to sell them over there and anywhere, it's like once you get them out of the United States, then it becomes much easier to ship them to other places. So these are already in Mexico. So primarily, people in Mexico could use them because that'd be the easiest and the less expensive way to get them to you. But maybe even other countries. I don't know. But if you're interested in those, I have set like a little form that you can fill in there and tell me how many you need, where you're at, and then that way we can figure out if it's feasible for us to make some of these available to you. Then there's also there's another link there of a guy that has a bunch of them right now. What did he say? He's just sent me an email or a message with a bunch of different. NCR 18650Bs. These are really good Panasonic cells, and those are available in Italy. So once they're in the EU, I believe. Don't quote me on this. I'm an idiot who's never been outside the United States. But I believe it's easy to ship anywhere within the EU, right? Once they're inside. And so these are in Italy. You should be able to do that. So those are there. There's a link. And then, of course, I have a link because there's 5 hours left right now. What time is it? 7? Yeah, 5 hours left for the 10% 4th of July sale. I made a video on Friday announcing that I was putting a sale, but I didn't title it sale. And I didn't. So only those people that are hardcore fans and they watch these videos. My videos are not getting as much views as they used to. And so if you were lucky enough to watch that, and even if you're lucky here to be one of the ones that are, how many do we have here? Do we have people? Let me check. 108. There's only 100 of you here. Before when I used to do these on a regular basis, there was like 300 people, right? And sometimes even more. Then you can take advantage of that 10% discount that I have on the website. So anyways, you're going to have to be patient because we might be oversold. All that stuff. I have no idea. I was kind of unprepared. It was kind of a last minute thing that I did, but there you go. You could still get in at that price. You might have to wait a little bit so I can get all the stuff. But I think most of the stuff is on its way already. We should be fine. I won't know until tomorrow or the day after when we're trying to ship all this stuff out. But anyways, how is everyone doing today? Where is everyone from tonight? It's been a long time. VL Map Caribbean link. Sorry, no Caribbean. But maybe it's easier to ship from Mexico to the Caribbean. I don't know. Maybe that is what is going to happen. So if that's what's going to happen, then it might be a good thing. In New Zealand, I paid $120 for 40 recycled, 33. Yes, that's a lot of money. See, here we're paying like I'm selling 40 cells at 3,200 milliamp hours for $57, right? Or you can get them for $56 if you order more than 4 or something like that. Let's see who's in the house. You know what? Hold on. It's friggin' hot in here, and I didn't even set my fan. I just set my fan. My new office does not have a working AC unit yet. I'm here like 3 months already, 4 months, and I'm kind of tired of not having AC. So I have to resort to some, fans. It's really hot here in California, if you don't know. I know some parts of the world are going through different seasons. It shows no international shipping on those MH1s. Yes, there is no international shipping. So because of that reason, I can't get any batteries out to you guys that aren't in the EU and anywhere else, actually, only in the United States. So for that reason, this is a really cool thing that, there's an amount of those cells in Mexico, and there are some of those, there are different kinds of cells out in Italy. So those links that I have down there, those are the ones that are for those things. And if you can use those, then good for you. If you can't, I'm sorry, not much. John Garris is from Austin, Texas. Elverton, GA, what's that? Georgia? Georgia. Indiana, there you go. New York, upstate here, Michigan. There you go. To get my battery shipped to the Dominican Republic. What's an MBE? That's just like a company, it's just like a forwarder? I know there's a lot of these forwarding services that people are using. I never used one. I don't know what's involved. Maybe, maybe I should look into that. Frank Sambor says sources for lithium iron phosphate. No, I mean, I order some Cal batteries. If you don't know what Cals are, those are like those blocky ones, 100 amp hours. They make it in every size, like anywhere from 60 to 400 amp hours. Cals are probably the best ones. I want to make a build on those, but it took forever to come here, like literally like 4 months or something like that. So, yeah, those came from China, and I think that's the only source of lithium iron phosphate. I think it's still China, and so it's crazy. It takes forever, and it's expensive. Locally, it's just whatever comes in. I did have some lithium iron phosphate. In fact, there's some lithium iron phosphate available through my kit.co/Jehu kit right page, and it's just a bit expensive. I just, whoever my partners who get these, they sometimes have to pay, or they have a lot of overhead, so they have to price these in an amount that makes sense for them, so for them to make money, right? And sometimes it's not. It's not really cheap, and so sometimes it's hard for me to push them because they're not the greatest, right? But then sometimes we get them where we have a lot of margins to give them, to really sell them really inexpensive and make them affordable so that everybody can get them. And so that's the case here. Melbourne, Australia. Adapt Down Under is from Melbourne. I just had did a podcast with someone in Australia yesterday. I will be uploading that sometime next week or something. San Francisco, Daryl Quirino. Look at that. It's a P.O. Box agency. There you go. Did I hear you right? Himiko? Mexico? Mexico. Yes. Mexico. That's the right way to say Mexico. And how'd you guys like my Spanish there? I don't speak Spanish very often, but I do speak Spanish, and should probably speak more Spanish. I'm probably gonna make this video, well, one similar to this in Spanish, so that, and then title it in Spanish so that people in Mexico can watch it, and then they can send me a message. We got to do something with those cells because they're down there, and if we can't find a new home for them, then they're in trouble of being recycled, being sent to China, or just being discarded or some other way, right? So we got to find uses for these, right? And so that's my task. That's what I'm doing. I'm scrambling out here trying to find ways to make them useful, because they're really good batteries. They're among the best batteries that they've come. I mean, we've had 3,200 milliamp hour cells, brand new ones, for a while, right? I just sold like 2,000 of them on my website. But the problem is that they're expensive. They're like $3 because they're brand new, and they're like, top of the line, about the most energy dense cells that are out there still. But these are used, and they're selling for less than $1.50. So that's a different, and they're already made into 10S packs. I wish they were made into some other form, another pack form, right? But they're not. They're made in, yeah. So that's the only challenge there. And so we have to break them apart, use them, repackage them in other ways, and that's the challenge. But Cheatin Henser says, "Sir, please help me with your email address. I need advice to Star Factor, which provides Powerwall." Yeah, Jehu@Jag35. That's my email. Everybody emails me there. I can't promise you I'm going to answer it because I get so many emails. And if I do, or that I'm going to answer it right away because I get so many emails. And there are some that I have to answer, prioritize and stuff. But yeah, send it to me. If be quick, be to the point. Don't give me your whole life story because it diminishes the chances of me answering it. So quick and to the point. Ask the question that you need the most, the answer to, and that way it allows me to get through a lot of emails quickly, right? I hit the easiest ones. I probably read most of them, probably all of them, but I only answer the ones that are quickest because I'm like, I only have like an hour to do emails. So I'm gonna hit the easy ones. I'm not gonna, do the 3-page ones with the life story and stuff like that. Um, let's see. Do you recommend lithium titanate batteries? Sure, if you can afford them. Sure. No, I'll leave later. So yeah, I don't know much about those titanate ones. So I don't know. Like I said, I am a practical man. I like to get my hands on batteries that are cheap, affordable, and then they're here available. So I'm not super fan of the experimental um, battery technologies. I don't care. I don't like them. Look at that. Enrico Treviño says Mexico presente. There you go. There you go. Send me your info. If you're in, si necesitas baterías, mándame tu información. Doesn't like the Cybertruck, however, I have reservation. I'm tired of broken windows and hail damage in my Tundra. Get over the looks. I'm getting one for the utility, not to be pretty. Okay, totally get it. See, there are people who want trucks to be trucks. Yeah, there's definitely going to be people for everything, right? I just think I don't know, I just think they missed the mark. I just think they could have captured that market that likes trucks because of the way they look, or like vehicles because of the looks, right? I'm in that market because obviously I don't need a truck. I can't use a truck. I don't need a minivan, but I'm driving one because I like the way it looks, right? So I'm not the only one. I'm not special. There's a ton of us that do that. There's a ton of us that choose a car purely for the way it looks and not because of how it drives or how useful it is. I mean, look, my bus is terrible. It's a terrible car. I have to keep saying that. People are going to hate me for that. But terrible car. Volkswagen's terrible cars. The engines are underpowered. They're unreliable. They catch fire. They're unsafe. All of the above. Yet, that's the car I chose to drive. Why? Because I like the way it looks. Like me, there's other people. And so, I think, I don't know, maybe I like to think there's a lot of us, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. And I guess, I'm allowed to be wrong. I have been, yes, wrong many times. Are you ever worried about fire starting? No, not really. I'm not, doesn't keep me up at night, the same as I'm not worried about an earthquake or a riot or, meteorite hitting my house or my head while I'm walking outside. All possible, but I'm not really, that doesn't keep me awake at night. Can you wire in parallel 24 volts and 24 volts lithium iron phosphate? Yes, I have done it. Although might get tricky. So I did 11? I did 111 volts nominal in lithium iron phosphate and then 111 lithium cobalt oxide, right? So it was 35 to 30. 30 lithium cobalt oxide, 35 lithium iron phosphate. So that right there matches pretty good. I don't know what the numbers would have to be, and it would have to be 7 and 8, right? Yeah, I don't know. Try it. Let's see what it does. You just have to watch out the extremes, the lower end and the upper end or whatever. But you might be able to do it. I don't know. Oh, there you go. The Archimedes effect. That's Brian. He says they can email me too at brian@archimedes.agency. Wow, there you go. Brian, he doesn't know what he's getting himself into. Email Brian if I don't answer. He's going to get bombarded by emails. DIY in the ghetto, quick and to the point. That's what she said. There you go. Lithium titanate cells are weird bird. Depends on the use case. They are good for high drain, bursty kinds of applications like car audio, but coulombic efficiency is like 85%, so not great. Yeah, it sounds like maybe they're like, what are those things? The capacitors, right? Ultra caps. yeah, they're great for giving you large amounts of energy quickly, but they're terrible batteries, and we need batteries. The lithium, the lithium coal oxide chemistry is the best thing that we have currently to store energy. Um, if you can, if you can diminish the cost, then you have a better battery. If you can diminish the energy, if you can increase the energy density, either volumetric or gravimetric or whatever, then we have a winner. Although for storage you don't need that much, but like for cars you do. So certain types of storages need the energy density to be better. But for some, like for us doing power walls, who cares, man? That's why lithium iron phosphate it works also. That's those things are heavy and they're big and heavy and stuff, and they whatever. We can still use them. It's just the cost. If you bring down the cost, then we'll be good. Sorry, getting Rivian 2, the wife liked that truck better. There you go. I need a link for the Powerwall boxes you use. Yeah, go to kit.co. Let me type it in. Here we go. kit.co/Jehu Garcia. Or just Jehu? Just Jehu. I don't know. That's going to be a link. I think I might have to put www.kit.co/Jehu. Whatever. Yeah, you just copy and paste that into your thing or whatever. I have links to all those products that I use. Everything is linked there. There's a ton of those kits and stuff, and everything's there. And that's where I go whenever I need it to find a thing that I bought or whatever. I'm like, oh, what was that thing? Let me go look for it, and it's in there. No cars or trucks are comfortable for long trips. Yes, long trips are not good. Long trips need something where you can lay in bed like this, in a water bed or something like that. Yes, that's what we need. An airplane. Eu soy de México, Mexicali, sigo tu canal de hace tiempo, me gustaría ayudarte con la logística de las baterías 18650 en Mexico. So those batteries are in Mexico DF, and I think they're in Monterrey. So yeah, we have to, I don't know, I have partners for this. They said that they had it, that all we need is clients at this point, but I don't know, maybe, yeah, we will need some more, something else. I also have family in Tijuana, so if all else fails, I think we can set that kind of as a hub or whatever for people that, I don't know if shipping works in Mexico, to tell you the truth. I don't know if like they have down yet. I think maybe a lot of people are like, what, shipping? No, where can we pick them up? Maybe, I don't know. I'm not in Mexico, so I don't know, right? But we'll see how that goes, I guess. TIG welder could be one of the better applications for the Titanate cells. Oh, there you go. Yes. Yeah, welding requires a lot of power. Not for very long, I guess, right? But yeah. Let's see. Chidan Hassan says, I wanted to manufacture your product like Powerwall with solar panels, but I couldn't convert to 3-phase AC supply. Well, there are inverters that do 3. In fact, well, no, those are different. Those are solar to 3-phase AC. Battery hookups had some inverters recently that there were 3-phase inverters. I should have ordered one just to play with it, but I got so many projects that I don't need another one. Why haven't you tried making waterproof batteries? I don't know. I don't need them, I guess. You could always put them inside or put them in somewhere where they don't get wet, I guess. I am trying to make battery boxes that are waterproof for this latest conversion that I'm doing. It's a 1973 BW bay window bus, and it's gonna have 14 Model S modules, right? So 75 kilowatt hours, and we're making aluminum boxes that we decided to just bolt together. So we didn't. And we're like, well, we can try and figure out how to weld, or I'm like, I don't feel like doing that. Someone else is doing, so I'm just walking them through it. So because they're doing the work, I'm like, let's just get some angle, and I'll just, you know how to drill holes. Anybody could learn to drill holes and put screws or rivets or something, and then seal the whole boxes. So that's the way we're going. We'll let you know how it goes. I don't know. BMS for large 72 volt 18650 array. There are some out there. I am going to start playing with the Lithium one that Michael at EV West sells over there. It's not the greatest. It still requires you to use a serial port in a computer and then look at a bunch of numbers go up in a little black screen. I really don't. It's not user. Really, the best thing that I've seen is that it's a finished product when it comes to the BMS is that the Electrodocus, right? But that one is limited to 8S, so you can only do 24 volts, really. So, and by the way, that one's going to become available pretty soon. I think I have some units coming to review. I have the little ones from Electrodocus from Dacian, but now he has licensed that to someone else, and they are producing them in mass. And I can't wait for that. I think we're gonna all be able to build 24 volt systems with those, and of course we'll be able to do 48 volt systems, and I guess 72 if you use 3 of them. And I think they're small enough, they're inexpensive enough that you will be able to do that. I don't know if he's gonna make some kind of like link so they can all talk together. That would be amazing, and I guess it wouldn't be that hard to do. But as of right now, it's kind of a standalone thing. But the GUI on that thing is pretty amazing. Like, you literally walk through the menu system and you can totally do the whole setup. You don't need no special thing. You don't need a computer. You don't need any of that stuff. It's all in there. It's got a nice little screen. It shows you diagrams, how to connect it, the whole thing, how to set it, how to calibrate it, the whole thing. It is about as finished of a product as any should be, and I am just surprised that not more BMSs are like that already, right? They're kind of these things that, unless you know your way in and out of ports of computers and serial terminals and all this stuff, is like, and most of us aren't. I'm not. I'm old. I don't care about figuring out ports and stuff. I just want a thing to be able to use it, right? So that's the problem there. What are we talking about here? Okay, let's see. Okay, you guys are not going very fast. I remember the time when these questions were hard to answer because this thing was moving really quickly, but there's not that many of us here today. Let's see. In Mexico, people would purchase Ultrafire over LG Samsung sells it to lack of information and common sense. Hard to find some good cells that are not fake. Sending my info, thank you. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's true. Ultrafire are still a thing because there are people that are buying them, unfortunately. And, finding the right info is hard. I realize, like, even with me, it's like, which one of my videos do you watch? There's like a million of them, and none of them say the thing that you're probably looking for. So it's tough. I realize that, right? And you just have to do some homework. Why do you have 2 pages for the kits? I don't know what you mean about the 2 pages. I think I have 1 page, and I have a bunch of kits. So there are a bunch of collection of products that I'm using for different projects, and then you aggregate them there, and you put them there. And originally I was selling. Oh, I think that's what you're asking. Originally I was selling my kits there. I didn't have a website, a personal website, and then I decided, like, hey, you know what? I guess I could just start reusing Jack35. Jack35 was an old website that I used for a previous business that I had. And then eventually, in the last 6 months, I've been transitioning into Jack35. So these days I'm updating less and less the kit.com, or kit.co now, because those are terrible service that keeps changing. And yeah, so now I have no control over that, right? So less and less putting effort over there, and I'm slowly transitioning. I think I'm probably like 90%. I think we're still getting orders over there, but I'm not updating it as much. And yeah, now I'm putting all my effort into jag35.com, which is my website. Would love to see a project with those cells. Yes, I'm working on that. It's just, yeah, I'm working on that, and I need kind of, you know, it's kind of up in the priority list. So it's going to be out pretty soon. Samsung 21700s 40T 1214 USD and Mexico at the moment. Yes, those are the same price here in the United States. They're really expensive. I think we could have gotten, I don't know. There was a couple of deals that were going on, and I think we could have gotten them for like $4 or something, but we had to get like a lot of them. But I don't know how real that deal was. You know, it never went through, and we don't know why. Yeah. Winston announced a 10,000 amp hour monomer large capacity energy storage lithium in September. I don't know what that is. Yeah, big giant battery. Any decent 8S BMS coming from China or eBay right now? I have been waiting for months for Alibaba products. Need one with LCD screen or Bluetooth capability. I haven't. I have a couple of them. I haven't had a chance to test them, so I could say. Yeah, I couldn't say other than this Electrodocus one that I really like. Yeah, there's nothing. There's not like another one that I'm like, yeah, that one. We're just using cheap ones, right? Even including for my little system, I just picked one of the most widely available one, right? Yeah, I don't know how reliable it is, but I haven't heard too much. There's literally thousands of these things already out there, my systems, right? Using my boards, I haven't heard too many problems. People having too many problems with them. So I think we're doing okay. You know, but they're not the best. Obviously, you can't adjust them. You don't know they're working. There's all kinds of stuff. There's a lot to be that. Yeah, there's a lot of room for improvement there. Good job on handling that Sprite can. What are you talking about? Korean brands like Samsung and Hyundai wind up to be total rubbish in my experience. Don't buy it. I don't know about that. The LG cells are they're pretty good. They're in like most of the American car company cars, like Ford and Chevy. Ford? Yeah, LG Chem. I think, yeah, they use that. So most of the car manufacturers use LG cells. I know Tesla used Samsung for one of the projects. Not really LG, but everyone else is using LGs. I think there's like everything. There's good and bad. I think it's just they have different, you know, different levels of cells. 2900 milliamp hour battery fully charged after 3 months came down to 3.7. Next 2300 milliamp hour battery says in 42 volt after 3 months. Which one is best for Powerwall? Huh, I don't know. I don't really know what those numbers mean there. Do you have any drawings for the better than a Kodiak build? Sorry, I don't have it anymore. I donated that thing a long time ago, and so I don't have it. I never made the finalized thing. I'll work on another one, but it's in the list of things to do. What happened with you on battery hookup? I mean, nothing much. They just, you know, they kind of dropped me from the deal that we had going, and I had no say so in the matter. So then I was like, okay, then I'll just go on my own and try to do other things, right? So yeah, so I mean, I'm still one of their affiliates or whatever. I can still make money selling their batteries, but these days, you know, I don't know. I can't choose to be more diversified. I was basically putting too much into their things. I'm only pushing their batteries and stuff, and you know, it was good. It was working good, or I thought it was. But then when they dropped me, when they changed the terms of our agreement without, you know, without giving me any chance to renegotiate, then I'd had to, kind of go on my own. And that's why I started really doing my website and stuff. I had that deal with Battery Hookup not started, I would have started on my website a long time. Remember jehusgroupbuy.com? That was a website that someone else set for me, and we did great. I mean, we did like $500,000 worth of sales in that in like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months or something, right? Now, that person turned out to be not very responsible, and they totally screwed me up a bunch of money or whatever. But I would have kept that. I would have fought for that, right? But because I had such a good deal with Battery Hookup, then I thought, whatever, let that go. That was in my website. I don't care. Let it go. And then I didn't start one, or I didn't focus on starting my own until now. So I'm kind of behind. I would have been, further along. I would have probably had more products. I really didn't want to do this, but because it's hard to depend on others, right? I mean, it's like, yeah, it's kind of hard, right? Like you put your trust on people, but sooner or later things don't work out, and if you put too much of your eggs in that one basket, then you're in trouble. So, learning from that experience now, I'm kind of diversifying. Like trying to make money in a bunch of little ways. A lot of them are on my own, and then I'm still having a lot of. Hold on. Quick second, I gotta change that battery. Didn't even check to see how the battery was. Break. Let's make a power wall.
Positive. Well, they're not super even, but they're okay. Whoa, they are kind of all over the
place. And just like that, we assembled a 1 kilowatt hour battery pack, 24 volts, ready to be used. All right, and that's what you can do with my little systems of PCBs and stuff if you're not familiar with that. Yeah, there's a ton of them out there. Like, I don't say like, I don't know, 50,000 of them. It's hard to say because a lot of you guys order direct from the links to the manufacturers in China. Although I think that's less and less happening because of this COVID-19. It's hard to get products. I just have a product today that I looked up because I'm like, where are those things? I know I ordered them, and it was like 10 weeks ago. I ordered 1,200 of these XT60 connectors, and they haven't, I don't know where they're at. So, it's like, okay, do I order more, or did I just keep waiting for those? It's hard. I don't know what to do here. So I'm in the same boat as you guys, but I kind of just have to pay a lot more for like premium shipping, DHL. Let's see. What about some sources in Colombia? I want to build a small power wall. Yeah, I don't know. I think you guys down in South America are gonna, I don't know. It's gonna be tough. I mean, I don't know, right? I never been down there, so I don't know what the markets are over there. I don't know if you guys still have scooters. I don't know if you guys have a lot of laptops. But if those two things exist, then, or electric cars, for example, then there are batteries in your country, and so then now you just have to find who's got them, who's receiving them, who's recycling them, and then find them there, right? But it's hard for me to say because, Canada needs cheap batteries, says Blog 55. Yes, we all do. Uh, link for that BMS you like. I don't have it at the top of my. Just search electrodocus. .com maybe electrodocus. Dacus, Dacus. Um, yeah, and that's the problem. The problem that he makes batches of them and they take forever. So you'll give him your money now, and then you wait 6 months, and then eventually he makes them, then he sends them. So it's hard for me to push that product because, well, there's like 1,000 of us that need that product, and we can easily overwhelm him, and then easily people get annoyed because they can't have it right now. They're like, "What do you mean I have to wait 6 months? I already give you money." So it's kind of a hard thing, right? But now I think it's gonna become a thing. It's gonna become available. We might be able to produce it in mass quantities, right? And so it's coming. I think I'm gonna get samples of it. I'm glad they suck and ship everything in the box. I like the way you ship your products. Oh yeah, that's true. That's the other thing. I have to fight with them all the time and trying to teach them how to ship. Like, if you ship them like this, I'm not gonna pay you anymore. I'm not gonna order from you. And then that's the only way they can be like, okay, we'll package them right. But you have to like, yeah, it's dumb. It's a short, for sure. Did your website have the BMS circuit board drawing so I can use it? I don't know which one you're talking about. Which one? Way better to have your own thing. Yeah, I believe so. Although, yeah, I really, there's a reason why my videos are lacking these days in quality and quantity is because now I spend quite a bit of time ordering parts, and even though I have a team now, I'm still quite involved in it. It's still not quite finished set up the way it is, and so yeah, it's taking a toll in the thing that I want to do, right? And if you remember, that it was my dream is to try to figure out how to make myself, how to set it up so that I have more time to make more videos and better quality videos, but that hasn't worked out. Now it's okay. I'm not complaining because I'm finally making money, and I'd been at this for like 4 or 5 years, and I hadn't made much money. I was barely scraping by, right? So now I'm getting myself out of debt. I might be able to like do some cool projects, and maybe get a house, get a home for the wife. I still don't own a home, and so that's not a good thing to have because I'm getting older, and if you don't have a little bit of equity stuck in there, then I don't have a pension. I don't have none of that. Like, I've always been like self-employed and really terrible at making money or saving money and setting all that stuff up. So I'm kind of in a mission to accomplish all those things before I get too crazy and adventurous with my projects, right? So, not complaining here, but yeah. I wish I could have more time to make videos, right? And so I thought these partnerships were gonna do that with me, right? Because then it would free me from the whole intricacies of getting batteries, buying batteries, selling batteries, fulfilling orders, all that nonsense. But it is what it is, I guess. Here in Brazil, I found some Samsung 18650s ranging from 4 USD dollars up to 10 each a cell. Yes. Yeah, if you buy them in low quantities, yeah, they can cost you a lot of money. I'm sure. I talked to a couple people from Brazil that they were trying to build stuff out of recycled batteries. I don't know how they ended up doing that. Let's see. Try the Freight Forwarder Swift Pack. Oh, there you go. Can your 24-volt 6S be made into 12 volts? So my 24 volts is 7S, and it can be made into 12 volts using a DC to DC, right? But DC to DCs are big, expensive, unreliable sometimes. So, I mean, you could do it. it's probably not the best way. I don't know. I don't know what your application is. If it's just a small battery pack and you just need 12, you could do it. But if it's large or something, then basically buying, you could save money and you can make a system less complex by just using the right battery. If you want 12, 4S on a lithium iron phosphate battery might be a better way to go than having a lithium cobalt oxide 24-volt system that then uses a DC to DC to step down, right? So, yeah, it just depends on the application there. I want to tap into my RV converter. Huh. Oh, I see. That's what you're doing? I want to tap into my RV converter. Huh. I don't know what that means. Your RV has a converter? And it's 12 volts? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see, automobile manufacturers are slowly shifting from IC to electric engines. Yep. I have been waiting months for the BMS as well. Electrodocus. Yes. Yes, I know. That is the problem. He makes a very good product. It's just he makes like, I don't know, like small batches all the time. So I hear, Jay, it takes time to get things working, so you will have more free time. You will get there, and we will bear with you in the meantime. Thank you for that. Yes, I'm looking at like my everyday things that I'm doing, and I'm like putting shelves and stocking things and designing. I'm really gearing up to like have a functional shop. And it's really hard because I've never had a functional shop. I've always had kind of a messy room with projects all over the place, right? So I'm trying to figure out how to do it so I don't get there, or if I do there, I don't get there very quick. I want to be able to kind of have a place where I can show up and then do experiments and then shoot videos and then make content, get it out the door, boom, right? And then I can clean up and then start again and stuff. And I can have multiple, projects at the same time without getting too messy and all this other stuff. So it takes quite a bit of time, right? You gotta be organized. Like, the other day I was making a whole thing I have a lot of hardware, screws, connectors, nuts, fasteners of all kinds, all that stuff. I have them like all over the place, right? And I'm like, I need something that it's in a place that I know it's always there and I can just go. Oh, if I need a thing, I'm like, I know it's somewhere in here, and then go and look for it, right? So I was gonna make my own, but I'm like, geez, that's taking too long for me to figure out, and I have to design some box thing. So I kind of gave up on that idea, and I just bought some already made boxes that is a thing for hardware, and I'm putting it together. Now I just gotta go and organize it and stuff, and get all my hardware from all the different places where I have it, and then put it together in that one thing. Vivo en Nogales, says Humberto Hernández. Ya no sé dónde está Nogales, si está lejos de los dos lugares donde va a haber baterías. It's high time to manufacture the Powerwall and battery pack. I was inspired from your vlog and started the company. So thanks for driving me to this position. Oh, there you go. I am from India. Oh, he's from India. Hector Rivera, thank you for the $2. Jack 35 doesn't offer any shipping options. I don't offer shipping options internationally because it's costing me way too much money. It's taking too long for shipments to get to their destination, international destinations. And people get tired of waiting, they get angry, and then they just put chargebacks on my, so then basically they take the money, and I'm out the product, and I'm out the money, and then I don't hear from it. And eventually the product sometimes makes it, sometimes it doesn't. Either way, I'm out the money, I'm out the product. So I just can't afford to keep doing that. So for the time being, I'm not doing any more international, because it's too shady. It's just too, it's unreliable right now, right? And hopefully it's gonna get better in the future, but for now, I just can't deal with that. I need to kind of prioritize what I'm doing, and there's plenty of business for me here in the United States, and so that's why. And that's why I'm making this video, because there's a lot of people that need batteries, for example. And by the way, you don't have to order from me if you go to my website. The list of parts are there. Every single one of them is a link, and you can click on that link, and it takes you straight to the source from China, where I get these parts. So you can actually save a ton of money from ordering directly. It's just you're gonna have to do quite a bit of work because it takes like, I don't know, like 10 different vendors that you have to now send money to, order the right quantities, and then wait for that stuff and track it, and that all is gonna take months, right? Because the same problems that I'm having shipping internationally, they're having internationally. So that's, unfortunately, that's the problem. But there's not much I can do, unfortunately. Alex says RV converters are like big transformers that often do a poor job of charging the lead acid batteries. Oh, I see. So it's a lead acid battery charger. Let's see here. Green Norwin, thank you, new member. By the way, he's a new member, which means that he signed up to the channel to be a member. I don't know how much that costs. I think it's like anywhere from like $2-3 or something to $10. I think you can choose how much it costs. I don't remember. But anyways, it just helps support the live chats that we do here and stuff. Nogales colinda con Arizona. Oh, I see, con Arizona. Let's see. I have 5 4S 40 amp hour lithium ion battery packs, but I can't run the AC on that yet. Huh. I really want to build your 1 kilowatt battery pack that your holders, but your BMSs are on back order. I don't think my BMSs are on back order. I think I have them. I think there's a lot of them in stock right now. I just put some more, I think, like a few hours ago on the website, and they had been available all this weekend. I might be oversold because I don't know how many I have in stock. I know I have like 200 of them, but I don't know how many we've sold over the weekend or whatever. So, but I put some more in there so that orders can still come in for the next 5 hours. 4 hours now. It's about to be 8, so now 4 hours before the sale ends, and then after that they go back to the same regular price. I have a Bluetooth radio gear run for 3 days. How can I promote this? I don't know. $4.99 per month, it says. Okay, so $4.99, I guess. That's what it costs to be a member, a new channel member. What is a good, what does it say? What is a good IR for use 18650 cells? Well, I mean, there's no such thing as a good IR. I think the lower it is, the better it is. But depends on how you're going to use it. For a DIY Powerwall, you shouldn't be pushing your cells more than 1C. So, I mean, they could be up to like 100 milliohms, and this should be fine. But they kind of have to match, right? So you got, if you have a bunch of like high resistant cells, then you should put them together in the same board or in the same pack. You should, yeah. That's the key. You got to match the cells. It's more important than the actual specs themselves, you know. And if the cells can provide you the power at the rate that you want it at, that you need it at, then the cells should be do fine. But if you start mixing them all kinds of different with different specs and stuff and different capabilities, then that's when you run into problems. let's see. What is okay? So I already read that one. Check out the Brusen battery ends. I use recycled laptop batteries and built my own packs. Yeah, I didn't like the original Brusen stuff, but I guess the second generation is better. I haven't tried it, but a lot of people like them. So yeah, you could use those. You are a great teacher. I earn my living thanks to what I learned from your YouTube channel. Really? Santiago Cancela. How do you make a living? What do you do for a living? Um, Reyes says, I also use a Victron 1218 amp DC to DC converter to keep the house battery topped off at 13.3 with the lithium packs. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's another way to do it. 7S 10P pack. Would I be able to make a solar generator pack and expand it to a second 7S 10P or 7S 5P? Yeah, you should be able to. I don't see why not. Battery Mooch in the house. Check it out. And he says so much depends on what you're using to measure IR. Most chargers are uselessly inaccurate. And when you're talking about AC or DC IR. Yeah, so that's the other thing. I think they're inconsistent, right? Like that same cell, you can put it on there and it can measure. I want to say, yeah, they are. A lot of them are, I think, and I think there's a lot of different reasons why you would get inconsistent results. Like if your ends are dirty, if the contacts are hot, probably changes enough to give you a false reading and all stuff. But I noticed like I'll get a pack and I'll pop it on there, and then they're all like consistent, if they're all high or low, if they're low, they're like in the 30 milliohm or something, and they're all consistent, like 30, 29, 28, 30, 34, 35, and then I'll get another pack, crack that open, and I'll put all those cells in there, and then like they'll be higher, like, and they're all around the 50s, 60s. So I'm like, okay, they might not be super accurate in measurements, but they're accurate enough to know they're high or on the lower end, right? And then you'll eventually, like from the same pack, sometimes you'll have a thing where they're all in the 50s or something, and then you get one that's like 130. And you're like, well, either that's a bad cell or it's just a bad false reading, because the contact's dirty, the thing is whatever, all of the. So it's not 100% useless, but it's not very useful at the same time. I mean, it just kind of gives you an idea of what kind of cells you're getting. If if a pack has been damaged or something, then you're gonna see an average of high internal resistance on all the cells that you test there, right? So that's about the only way or usefulness that it is for the IR readings on those cheap measuring devices. Yeah, you definitely need some cool. But what is a cool? I don't even know. I don't even own a legit device that can read accurately internal resistance. Yeah, inconsistent contact pressure and a lack of contact pressure can cause all sorts of trouble. Just curious, are they any good use 21700 cells coming anytime soon? Or are they too new? So for the most part, they are too new, but they are already appearing in a lot of things. Like they're starting to pop up in power tools, so you'll be able to get some in power tools. Some devices will start using them, like vacuums and stuff. I know that people are already starting to get them there. But probably the ones that are like energy dense, I don't know. There's way more products that are using batteries and they're using high capacity batteries and stuff. So yeah, well, I think we'll see them pretty soon. I think we'll start seeing 21700s pretty soon. It already, I think you're starting to see them, but not probably in the quantities that you need them or in the price that you want to pay for them either. Let's see. Yeah, good point. Rough sorting can be done with an accurate charger. Yeah, just rough numbers essentially. I don't think this is some Sun 40T cell for an e-bike build, but they are kind of expensive new. Yes, I paid like $15 for some stupid 2170s that or 700s that I was gonna use for a skateboard build, and then they were kind of terrible cells. They're brand new. I mean, the specs are good, but they were getting really hot just on charging at like 1 amp or something. I'm like, how are these so? They're brand new. Why are they getting hot? Like, this is what you expect from used cells, damage or something. Yeah, so I never ended up using them, and that was about the most expensive battery pack. It was like 12 cells or 14. I don't know. It's like I paid like almost $300 for these cells, and they're sitting there still on my desk. I never built that pack. Um, yeah, I wish they're start popping up. I don't care. I don't really care about the batteries. All I care is that we have them available, right? So whatever I have available, whatever we can buy at cheap prices, and they're good quality, that's my favorite battery at that time. Right now are MH1s. Because there's a ton of them, and they're cheap. They're like $1.30 or I don't know, $1 something. And there's gonna be quite of them for a while. And my job is to try to find new purpose for them, right? So, that's I don't know. It's kind of a pressure job. Uh, for AC IR, try the YR1030 from AliExpress. Very accurate. There you go. I should put that on my shopping list there. Anybody want to buy me that? Yes. Yeah, let me check that. Let me see. So you're saying AliExpress is that a website that we all use to buy nonsense? Yeah. You this is the website that you search batteries all day long, and then when you open it up on your phone when your wife is looking, all kinds of like sex toys and bras and things open. You're like, I'm not looking at that, and she's like, yeah, sure, you're not. It's the stupidest. Why do they do that? Why do they just push all these nonsense stuff? Never search for any of that stuff, and then it's just, oh wow, look at that, and it's not even expensive. It's kind of an inexpensive tool. That's pretty cool. I gotta add one of those to my arsenal of tools that I need to test batteries. There you go. I just got that. Let's see. Maybe it's just me, but the black curtains are giving me claustrophobia. I'd rather see Dad and the dogs in the background, or just for yucks, make it a green screen to play later if you get time. Yeah. This was an attempt to actually get a hold of all the sound resonance that I get in this room. Turns out I think it's this table. It's like this table's hollow and it's a box. I need to change it. Just haven't had time. Because this room sounds a bit hollowy. And you can hear it on my podcast. So I'm going to change this table, do that. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. What am I going to do here? I should place, I don't know. We'll see what we can do with this background. But right now it's just kind of temporary. How can I get some batteries to Mexico? Well, there are some batteries in Mexico already. If you're interested in them, fill out that form on the description of this video, and then I'll get back to you. I'll let you know where they are, how much they are, and how you can get them. I still haven't worked it out, but I was told that I needed to get a feel for if there is any customers in Mexico, because if not, I don't know what else we're gonna choose. I think trying to import them to the United States is the dumbest thing. But I guess if there's nothing else to do, then that might be what we have to do. But I know for a fact there's a lot of people in Mexico that will use them. I know we can find a new home for them. um, I noticed that you still have sold out items in your online store. Does that mean like you're getting more? Like the balancing two wheel battery. Oh no, so those I'm not getting those anymore. I just had a batch of those and then they sold out. Right now, there's a link on that listing that sends you to like AliExpress. I ordered some from AliExpress, tested them out, and they seem to be decent batteries. So that's why that that listing is still on my website because it's somewhat useful for people. If you go in there, it says like for click here to order them, and it takes you to AliExpress and stuff. I haven't been able to how to figure out how to do this link aggregator thing on my website yet. So for right now, I'm just kind of trying that. Um, but yeah, those batteries are not coming back to my website from my warehouse in any, I don't know, for the foreseeable future. I don't know. We might get a giant, you know, one of my partners might get a giant stock or shipment of those, and then I'll make them available. But yeah, it's kind of hard with used batteries. The second hand, it's like it's just what you get, and once they're gone until the next time when they're available. And so, but it's unreliable source of batteries. That's the problem. Do you think used cell phone batteries could make a decent skateboard or bike pack? Yeah, if you have cheap access to a bunch of those, yeah, those are cool batteries. Um, they're kind of expensive though. So yeah, if you have access to a lot of cheap ones, yeah, you can do it. What do you think about mixed Samsung and Panasonic and LG? Yeah, but it could work, no problem. As long as the yeah, as long as the cell capacities and the specs are similar, you could use them. I think you're right about the table. The mic sitting on it, picking up the resonance from the hollow center. You can hear it. Yeah, yeah. I think that's what it is. Cause there's no way I literally covered this entire room with these pads or whatever, and there shouldn't be any resonance on the wall. Although there is that wall over there. This one particularly, well, this one's not that bad. This is concrete, but this is drywall. I don't know which one would resonate more, the concrete. But then we have glass over there, but it's got the blinds, so there shouldn't be. And then the ceiling's acoustical, the floor is carpet. Where's that resonance coming from? Is this thing? What do you think about the Mega Cell Charger? Yeah, the Mega Cell Charger is cool. It's just a little harder to use than I would like it to be. Um, yeah, and it's a little buggy. But I have two of those. I'm gonna set them up here, and then I'll start playing with them when I test cells and stuff. Those should be coming up, I think, to be mass produced. I think he's making the first batch right now. And so those might become available pretty soon. So then, when that happens, then it's going to be cool to start playing with those, right? So we can help all those new people that have them and stuff. Over chairs, near walls, and other hard surfaces will do the audio quality trick. Um, DASA Direct says, hi all, I can get 100 use tested 18650 all around 1500 milliamp hours for 42 pounds. Is that 50 pounds? 50 US dollars? Delivered from the Netherlands to me in the UK. Cheapest I can find. What do you all think? Yeah, those are kind of low capacity cells, but there's nothing wrong with those. If as long as they're not super degraded, they're low capacity because they're degraded. So yeah, just keep an eye on that. I can't get anything in Jamaica, says Robert Downer. Yeah, the islands are gonna be tricky. It's gonna be hard. Hey, Jehu, any current updates or updated thoughts on building 1850 EV packs, what you know now, I think perhaps fuse nickel battery hookup plus spot well. What voltage you recommend for an EV? EV packs. Yeah, for an EV. Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could totally build them. I was about to build that, but I wanted to use a board, a circuit board, and then I just couldn't get it done right. I don't know. I think Justin might be like too busy or something, so I couldn't get a file from him. So then I kind of gave up, and then now that the Model 3 batteries are out and I got a couple of them to play, I'm going that route, right? But it's yeah, I mean, the best way is to build your own packs, custom size to build them, you know. And I spent quite a bit. I don't know. I didn't spend that much time, but I spent a few hours, you know, kind of sizing battery packs and and I bought all those batteries, which, by the way, I ended up selling because I'm like, well, if I'm not going to use them, someone else could use them. So then I ended up selling them when I put my website, and I needed to put cells there. And I thought, well, I have like, 2,500 cells, 2,600 cells there that are brand new. M36s, by the way, so there's 3,200 milliamp hours, right? And I just sold them. I'm like, whatever, I'll have access to cells moving forward. And sure enough, I could use these MH1s if I wanted to. I wouldn't even have to break them apart because my system, it's 30S. So these are 10S, so I can put 3 of these in series, and that's one battery pack. And I can, or I can make, 10 of these in parallel, and then make 3 of those blocks and then connect them in series, and that's my battery pack. So I can literally use these scooter batteries to be an EV battery. I should probably, I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. It's hard to do that because then I already have the Model 3s, But it might be cheaper though. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it. You never know. Once I'm set up here in my shop, I'll be able to do crazy experiments like that once again. Take a break. Your eyes show no good. Yes, I am looking older these days. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's I think I've been staying up late. And so I need to somewhat go back to like a normal schedule again. I don't know. Maybe I'm worrying about this whole COVID-19 thing and the riots and stuff. I don't think so. Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't think I am. I'm doing okay. So I shouldn't have to worry too much. But I think it's that. It's the lighting is different here too, so that also is not that great. My hair is long because I haven't been able to get a haircut. I think it's a combination of all that stuff, right? Like there's things that I used to do that would make me looking younger that I haven't been able to do in this new thing. And all that stuff is showing up here. So yeah, I'd probably say 50% is an optical illusion, and 50% is that I'm getting older. I'm not as young as I used to be. And maybe I'm one of those people that just shows their age like from one 6 month period from the other one, You don't necessarily have to cover the whole walls with the sound dampening panels. Something can space them out a little bit and it will work. The mega cell, he's Beal map. He's waiting for the first ones to get. Yeah, that's a good idea to do that. I really want to build an RV, but I have never built a battery. I figure that I could replace a 12-volt system with lithium. It's gonna bankrupt me if I want to pack enough to run AC and a washer. I don't know because I don't really know what it takes to run those because I'm not an RVer. You should probably find out what that number is, what other RVers are doing, how big of a battery packs they're putting on there. But I know that you can if you haven't started getting your system yet, you should probably plan on doing a 24-volt system because then you can use cheap batteries. right? Lithium coal oxide, 7S makes a great 24-volt system, and it's compatible with the lead acid chargers and all that stuff. So it's easier to implement or to integrate that battery system. And yeah, I think probably the equipment might be a little bit more expensive, but I don't think too much. I think that's fairly common. Inverters, 24-volt inverters are fairly common. Uh, Probably 24-volt appliances for RVs are probably also common. Uh, let's see here. I bought some used 2170 cells that are supposed to be 95% capacity, but I tested them at 65, so I returned them. Oh, where did you buy those, Ben Wilson? Where did you get them? It's California Air B. Come to Portland, Oregon. Can you build a supercapacitor battery bank? I can. I don't see the use for it, so I won't. Looking forward to the crazy experiments in the new shop once everything is sorted. I love to see new EV pack build with the scooter cells. Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I remember in the beginning I used to do stuff like that because I had nothing to lose and I had very little access to stuff. The problem right now, I have so much junk, so many battery packs to test, and and then I'm like, well, okay. Before just testing a thing, that was the point. But now it's much more complex, right? Because I'm like, well, why do I want to test that battery that there's only one of? Shouldn't I be testing this battery? There's like 4,000, and then we can sell them, and I can make money on that. So unfortunately, that's what's guiding some of my choices on what I'm making, and it kind of kills creativity, and it kills some fun stuff too. But yeah, I think it's all temporary. I think eventually you reach that point again that you're like, who cares? I don't need to make money. I just do the stuff that's fun, and that's what I'm after. So I think it'll be there where I'll be able to do some crazy cool projects. I think once again. I have learned a lot in your channel. Have you ever tried to import direct from China using Alibaba? The price looked good, but tax for Mexico is high for Mexico. We tried importing batteries from China. We did the Revolt cells, and we did like, how many of those? I think we did like 50,000 cells or something. It was okay when someone else was handling all the logistics and stuff. But then the problem is that the first batch was good, and then the second batch was all like, oh my God, why are all these rusty? So a lot of the quality control over there is not the greatest, right? And so even though we were getting a good product, that ended up testing really good longevity-wise, right? Like we cycle a cell at like 1,000 cycles or whatever. It was pretty crazy. The factory couldn't guarantee that they weren't going to ship stuff that would start getting all rusty, because it was super humid, wherever they were building them and stuff. So there are a lot of challenges, and then you got to put in a lot of money. And the way I did it, even though I didn't have any money, it was by doing that group buy, right? And so that's cool, except that, well, I don't want to use people's money to, import a bunch of cells. I know it's a cool thing, and, it involves a bunch of people and makes you feel like you're all together. But, yeah, I don't know. It's tough because then, like, the PayPal doesn't like that, and they freeze your assets if you don't ship right away, and then they get a wind that you're trying to do pre-sales kind of thing. They don't really like it because people get impatient, and then they start putting claims right before they're getting them. So after you get the batteries, then maybe one-third of your customers they already claim all that money, and PayPal doesn't like that, so they don't like you doing. It's just challenging. You gotta have a lot of money to invest and take the risk and then just wait a long time for the shipment to come in and stuff like that. So this is the problem. Can you do a video on how to make an electric car? Yes, I can, but that's a huge subject. There's a lot of stuff. And I have one that I was working on 2 years ago, and I just need to finish it. And I just should be uploading it. I think I'm going to do it when I find some time to do it. But it's there. It's like 75% done. And it's a beginning to end, step by step. It's going to be quite a long video, but hopefully it's going to be kind of interesting and stuff to see it. And I will probably make a few videos right now of the project that I have going on right now, just because I'm not doing it. I'm just teaching someone else. I'm walking someone else how to do it, so I'll be able to grab my camera and just shoot little things here and there and then like edit a thing. So that should be pretty good. 22. Okay, we have 8 minutes. Question on balance lead wires. Does wire size matter? I have some 20 American wire gauge, but notice most balance leads have 26. No, it shouldn't be. Those are just literally to, I mean, there might be some balancing that goes through there, but if you, most of the times that's, you know, in the milliamps, 200 milliamp speeds, you know. So you don't need a big cable. Unless you have a lot. Like if you have like a 3-4 amp balancing capabilities on your BMS or whatever, then you might need some thicker wires. But it just depends, yeah. Depends on your equipment, really. Massachusetts. Let's see. Thank you. It is rigged for the $10. Have a case of Sprite on me. Is it rigged YouTube channel? Oh, is it rigged YouTube channel? There you go. Thank you for the $10. Is it rigged? Justin Kinney, is that supposed to mean something rigged? Yeah, me too. I misread that. I was like, wait a minute. Thanks for replying to my comment the other day. I replied to your reply. Not sure if you have seen it yet. My offer still stands. I think I could potentially save you time too. That's a direct. I wish I knew what you're talking about. I answer so many comments, questions, emails that it doesn't ring a bell what we were talking about. I hope I answered you back. I hope I take on your offer, whatever that one was. Yeah, sorry, I just don't know what you're talking. What projects are coming up? I mean, we're working on that. Well, I'm working on a couple of power walls. I'm working on that power wall that I've been trying to do for the last 2 years, which is to use my boards in a box, make a 24-volt, just battery packed like 5 to 7 kilowatt hours, and then put another one, connect them all together in series, make a 48-volt, put an inverter, 48-volt inverter, and then just turn it on, charge it. Either charge it at night. I could do that here because I can't put solar here, unfortunately. They specifically said that on the contract that I can't have roof access, so I can't put anything up there. But I could charge at night when it's super off peak, and then use during the day when it's peak. And I could save a bunch of money that way. And so I can show you the whole process of doing that. And then I can also show you how to just use an off-grid system too. So there's a bunch of, so that project is coming up. And the reason why I haven't done that project is because I need to set up the, what's the word? Supply chains. Now that I've taken on the job of selling stuff, now I have to secure supply chains, and it's been taking a long time. I was working with Chinese supply chains for a long time. Oh, you know, all those guys that are selling on Alibaba my things, it's because a lot of them are because I was getting them to sell them to me, but too many problems, right? too many problems, quality control issues, shipping issues, timing issues. They would take forever, and they were kind of expensive. So currently, what I'm doing is I got someone in house that is soldering all these. So right now, I think I'll be able to do that video and maybe keep up with the man. The problem is that the man is going to be great. If I make a video that gets that is produced semi good, then it's going to create a lot of sales. And I mean, sales are great right until the point when you can't ship them because you don't have the stuff. So that's where we're at, and it's just taking months and months and months. I mean, I literally spent months trying to work it out with the Chinese supplier, and then at the end, they just, I don't know what happened. They fell apart over there, and now they split up. There's two guys, and one guy didn't know what he was doing. The other guys also didn't know what they're doing. I got like some shipments of product that like half of it is bad, it wasn't working and it was scratch, and it took forever. It took like 2 months to get it, so I'm like, oh, okay. So that's the problem. But that's one of the projects that I have going is finally the Powerwall. I haven't built it because I can't sell it. And I don't see the point of me showing you how to build a thing that you can't build. So, I want to be able to secure all the stuff, make it easy for you guys to do it so that I can, so that it's a much better experience for everyone, right? It's not just about making money. It's also about creating a thing that's useful. I mean, the original Powerwall videos got 2 million views. Was very entertaining. People love it. The thing is that no one could build a Powerwall using that because no one can get the batteries. No one could, I didn't even finish. It was more of a story telling of someone trying to build a battery pack than an actual step by step, right? And so I didn't share all the details, and I got quite a bit of criticism for that, right? And rightly so. I should have, because it wasn't a complete system. And it wasn't a thing. I don't want to go that route again. I mean, I could. These days, I'm not going for the views. As you can notice, I'm making these videos. I don't really care if they get views or not. I don't care how many people show up. How many showed up? Oh, 147. Not that bad. But that's not the thing that drives me anymore. Now it's like, you got to be able to be useful, This information is just, it's hard to put together this stuff. And so I'm not going to work really hard and then not get anything off of it, right? If I'm not being really useful and really helping you build a thing that you need, then I don't get nothing for it, right? I don't get rewarded financially for doing that. I just kind of wasted my time doing a thing, and I still get rewarded by making maybe a cool video. And it's cool and all, but that's not gonna get me out of debt. So that's kind of sucks. So I have a bunch of these little projects. I have a bunch of these like little power packs, solar generators, emergency power packs and stuff that are all based around my little boards. Again, all those, I built a bunch of them. They're halfway done months ago. Some of these I started like 9 months ago. I never finished the video because, again, I didn't really have a handle on the supply chain. So now I think that we're getting there. Now I'll be able to get all these projects done and upload them, help a bunch of people do the thing. Glenn Norgreen, thank you for the $10 there and the bird. The bird. I don't know. Yeah, that's a bird, right? Is that a bird? I don't know. That's a direct some criticism to help on the pack the other day when you only had 24 hours. Oh, I see. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I see. Yes, I was a bit challenging. I was like, what have you made? Yeah, I know. Yes. It's just, I really literally had like no time to make that, right? And I was like, I wasn't going to make that video, to tell you the truth, because those dudes totally screwed me, right? The only reason I agreed to do that video, and by the way, I'm talking about a review of that one thing. It was AC50 or AC200, I think, Blue Eddy. The only reason I agreed to do that video was because they said I was going to be first. and I was gonna be the only one that had that thing, and I could review it, and then I can send it over to other reviewers after. So I had to carve out some time to do the thing, and I did. I was like, okay, I'll clear my schedule. It's arriving on the 6th, and I'll get to it, and I don't do all the other stuff, all the million projects that I have set aside that I'm doing. I'll put them aside so I can do this thing. These dudes didn't send it to me. They literally did not. The guy was like, it's on his way. I shipped it to you. He hadn't. He totally lied to me. He sent it instead to another YouTuber that I don't like very much because he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? So that guy got it, made a video 2 weeks prior to everyone else. So then 2 weeks later, I get the unit, and I'm like, what do I want this thing? I'm not gonna make a review. Like, the only reason I wanted it is because I was gonna get some views. But that other dude got the views because he went first, right? But then I started thinking, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. They were bugging me about it, and they were like, oh, come on, you know. And I was like, you know, that other idiot uploaded the video before everyone, so he got the views. But we didn't get was any of the referrals. You know, you can get like commissions or whatever. If you like the product, if you promote it, right, then you can get some commissions. And that dude, because he went ahead of everyone, he's not gonna get that because obviously the video got the views. Unless he uploads a video or uploads an update or whatever, then he's not gonna get. So I thought, okay, he takes the views, I'll get the commissions or whatever. So that's the reason why I decided to do it. Of course, I wasn't gonna do it if the thing sucked, and the thing didn't suck. It was okay, you know. It's a pre-production unit. It's kind of like a prototype. The inverter, it's not the greatest on my unit, but I heard that on other review units, it's better, and it's actually gonna have quite a bit of surge power. So I'm like, okay, and it seems like this thing is gonna be very, very useful for a lot of people. For me, it's kind of hard to like, why do you need the DC systems to have all these ports and have, you know, give you 300 watts? I totally, you know, I'm not looking at this with perspective with people, right? So anyways, did the video, uploaded it. Yeah, it was lacking because I literally stayed up to, like, you know, like 20 hours just to get it done, and I was rushing to get it. And so, yeah, it's kind of whenever I do that and then someone says, like, hey, your video sucks or whatever, do better, I get kind of defensive. And that was you. That's a thing. Sorry for being nasty towards you, but you see my point, right? I'm like, I work really hard on this thing. That's the best that I can do. And then someone's like, you can do better. That's not good enough. Then I'm like, oh, screw you. I'm unemployed and moving to California. Can I get a job at your company? Sorry, I'm not offering jobs here. I'm terrible at running employees. So I kind of have a small group of people, and they're kind of all doing their own thing, so I don't have to manage them. And I don't know, it seems to be working right now. I don't really want. At one point, I wanted to make a large company, you know, 20 employees, and I'm not longer interested in that. I kind of got past that point. I don't have a point to prove that I can have a company or, you know, have an enterprise thing. Now I'm like, how do I do the thing that I want to do with the least amount of obstacles, you know? So I'm in South Africa, and all I can do is admire what you do, because shipping to me, it's costly unless you recommend someone in China. Yeah, unfortunately, that's a lot of the places, that's where it's at. And it's hard to be so buddy-buddy with China right now, right? Because, yeah, I mean, because it's not working right now. The world is literally kind of broken, so it's weird. On the pack, they got 1 million kicker in 24 hours. Hi from New Zealand. How's it going? I'm cheap. I work for cookies and ice cream. Freak random. Yeah, I mean, I do have to get some people in here eventually when I have to do some projects, but I haven't figured out how to do it. Like this is more than I thought I was gonna have. I thought I was gonna start building the team a little bit slower, but it kind of happened all at once I got this place, right? So I got 2 people helping me in there build stuff, and then I got one person doing product, order fulfillment, and I got one person doing like orders, like online orders. So she's the one that's like processing, figuring out which boxes and how to ship it, which company to use to ship, all that nonsense. And then I got someone help me with the podcast. So yeah, there's a lot of people that now I kind of have to talk to and coordinate with and stuff, right? And it's a bit too much to tell you the truth, but I'm kind of handling. That's okay. It's working. Maybe that's the reason why I have this dark circles and stuff. It's all the people. It's all the people that no, it's not. It's a good team. We got a good thing going on here. Hey, we've processed 2,000 orders in the last 2 months. Wait, 2 months? 2,000 orders? Yes, I believe so, because the cart starts at 1,000, and we just crossed the 3,000 order mark. But most of those orders have been in the last like 5 weeks. It's literally like, we were doing like $10,000 in sales for a long time until 2 months ago, and then 2 months ago just, went crazy. And this month's gonna be crazy. I think we're gonna be like somewhere around $200,000 in sales. So it's a crazy amount, crazy growth graph. So yeah, I think that's the reason why I'm looking old these days. It's just that. So anyways, let's cut it quits here. Marcos, thank you for the $5. Much appreciated. 11:37 on Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Yeah, it's not so late here. I usually go later than these, but today I decided to do it earlier. Did you figure out how to use the integrated BMS and the screw batteries? Not yet, but it's going to happen. I think I wasn't here today to receive a full system. We need a full system to be able to sniff CAN messages, right? And then once we know the messages that are going between those 2 pieces of devices, then we can create another device that simply just rebroadcast those devices to the battery pack, so then they could turn on and we can use it. So that is the process on which you make that BMS useful. And that's stuff way over my head. So I'm actually, getting someone that is much better at that than me. And so today I was gonna get the package, and then ship it to that other person, and then we're gonna do it. It's gonna work. And then all those batteries are gonna be super easy to use, because you're gonna be able to stack them, connect cables, and you're gonna be ready to go. But till that happens, so, all right, guys, thank you for joining me. Yeah, it's been a while since we did this, but I'm glad we did it. We hung out and we talked about batteries. Yeah, if you're in Mexico, send me the thing. If you're in Europe, click on that link. There might be some batteries there that you might use. He doesn't have the greatest pictures on those things, but I think he's got good batteries, and because he sells out all the time, so they won't last. So yeah, if you need batteries, make sure you get them there. Other than that, thank you for everything. Thank you for all your support. Stay tuned for hopefully some interesting videos coming up, and yeah, all right. We'll see you guys later on the next video. Thank you. Okay, so let's make a power wall.
Positive. Well, they're not super even, but they're okay.
Whoa, they are kind of all over the place. And just like that, we assembled a 1 kilowatt hour battery pack, 24 volts, ready to be used. Hey guys, so what is going on with the Samba? Well, let's go look at it. Here is the clutch. Here is the clutch. This is a pretty legit charging station.
Yeah, BTC power, thanks.
As you know, EV West is not the only place turning old gas guzzlers into, ultra-modern electric clean vehicles. There are other people doing the same thing all over the world, such as the case as Conrad and Andrew, all the way down in Australia. These guys are converting cars and they have a bunch of cool projects. VW Bugs. The car that I used to drive. You ever wonder what people think about our electric conversions? See the reactions on this 70s Porsche 911.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Fuck yes. In a Porsche. Fuck yes.
What is the purpose for dreaming at night? Daydreaming.
Alright, today I'm going to show you how to change an axle bearing. This is actually a very common problem. Start squeaking and you got to change that bearing. Except that the tool that you need to extract that bearing is very, very specialized. I actually never seen it before, but have you ever seen one of these? If you haven't, you're gonna need one of these. Typically, people will do is they have to make their own tool. Grind some pieces of metal or whatever so that you can extract that bearing. How it goes. Each one of these clamps goes in between each ball on the bearing. And then you slide this collar in there all the way in, and then you spin this and it'll just push its way. It'll use the center axle to push that. There we go. And that's how you replace an axle bearing. You need that tool. All right, guys, let's make another video. Let's answer some of your questions. Keith Tucci. If charging 16 cells at once, do you need to put... Here's an interesting question. You're asking if all the cells have to be at the same voltage for you to be able to charge them together. Let's test that today. Negative to negative, positive to positive, 1.4. Look at that, it's 2.2. All right, so after 2 hours, the only question left to answer is how much charge did it get? And so I'm gonna test that right now.